Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about required field validation when loading data into the database. So here we have very basic customers table, and as you can see, the email field does not allow nulls. So what I did, I created a sample Excel file, and one row of this file contains null, empty string. So let's try to create a transformation. Let's call it mandatory. We have to create group first. Call it validations. Okay, and we will create okay. Excellent. So what we want to do first, we want to point our read Excel file. Okay, Excel file, the source. So Excel file customers, data from sheet 1. Auto format. And then we will set properties of the writer object. Table name is customers. So we just map the fields and run it and see what happens. Ready to run. Consult it failed. Check the log. This is normal. It failed. So mandatory field is missing. We check if the data was actually loaded. Okay, so it is loaded, except what was it? Set data for down. Software actually does validate it internally when you load it into the database. In case in SQL, so sometimes it might fail. And what we need to do, we need to set, in this case, set batch size to 1. Why it is important? When data is loaded into SQL Server and batch size is 0, and the entire process is like one single transaction. So if some of the validations fails, the entire process will fail and nothing will be loaded. But if you set it to 1, batch size will be equal to 1 record. So only 1 record will fail. All the failing records will fail if you have many errors. But again, it has impact on performance. So batch size 0 is the fastest option. So this is example of server-side validation. Another thing we can do, we can use validator to validate the data before actually processing it. My recommendation is not to use server-side validation for very, very large source files or tables. because using validator is just faster in this case. Let's see. So we just link it again. And we auto-map it because we like 7 times. And we use is null. In this case, since we're working with Excel, it might not actually work, because in case of Excel or text files, it can be just empty string, and empty string is different from null. Let's see if it works. So what we are saying here, when it is null and it is success, what we want to do, we want to discard the record. We want to write a message to the log file, just discard it because it is relevant. So let's see if it works. Might not work. See, it is not discarded because this one, yeah, it is discarded. So we can also use is null or empty string for validations. So let's run it and see what happens. So you can see one of the records was discarded. This is why we have one here. And our transformation actually failed because we have a primary constraint violation. But it is irrelevant for our example because we are checking mandatory field. All right. That's not the only way how our software can validate the data. So if you have the questions, so confused about it, please go to our support forum, and as usual, we'll do our best to help you. And of course, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.